I think something that we definitely need to revisit at this point is we need to really go back and look at music in a different way. I think that we really owe a lot of artists an apology. It was a lot of talented artists that came up in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. And those artists were held to such a high standard. And now looking at what we have now, I mean, they would be mega stars in this industry and the music and the shit we get now, especially a lot of the rappers. But not only is it the talent aspect, but it boils down to what we know was going on or our lack of knowledge of what was going on behind the scenes. Man, we have no clue what these people was up against. These record labels that was trying to stick them in more ways than one between money and sticking them. The type of people that were around them that had their own hidden ambition. You had whatever monetary goals, whatever the label had going on, if they actually had the right support or not. Man, you have so many things that are going on in the background. The producers and whatever publishing group that they signed into and whatever attachments that label has to a particular media outlet. If they only signed you because they saw something worked at another label and they using you to copycat that. The guy that's a record label head or whatever the case may be, and he just putting you and sliding you into place in particular looks that you getting, and you really not that talented, but at the end of the day, he trying to knock you down. Like when I figured out Irv Gotti and Ashanti was the thing, I was like, oh, man, this make a lot of sense. Or even like, for example, like the Fugees. One of the stories that I hear is like, Wyclef Jean and Lauryn Hill, that was a thing. Or like the City High group, where that was pretty much a love triangle. So, man, it's so many intricacies of things that go on in the music industry. Now, we're not even talking about the drugs, the sexual things that challenges and stuff that they face with and all that other good stuff. We're not talking about, man, it's so many things. So I really think between talent and just the real things that are really going on in this industry, I really think we need to go back and apologize to a lot of people that were really talented, that just, unfortunately, they came into the industry during that particular time in a time frame where it was a lot of perversion, and we didn't get a fair shot to see who those artists were. And then even now, ageism. You mean to tell me we can't? Damn, I got the hiccups. You mean to tell me right now we don't have any older rappers that still could, keep our attention, or older rappers that could still hold the attention and the financial attraction for an older demographic that does not participate in this younger version of music? Because that music is just based on trends and a bunch of other things that it immediately is ageism very quickly. So if you're not running around here trying to jump on or being a follower into the next trend or all these little weird things, then immediately you out. You know what I'm saying? You done. If you're not chasing a particular sound and jumping on that bandwagon, you're done. It does not really reward creativity or those who really stand out or those who are really going in for those challenges. So, do you mean to tell me that's not a thing? Older R&B artists. You mean to tell me they don't have music? Like when I was growing up, you had several artists that were still in their 40s that were still making records that were great records. So you mean to tell me now it's just we got to deal with what we got to deal with, and you can't have older artists that will chart or that can go out here and make great music and we not tune into that? It just has to be based on this idea of being in between this particular age demographic. And mostly those music and labels are really targeting an even younger demographic, which they dumb. And that's the truth. They have limited perspective. They're easily guided, easily manipulated, highly emotional, highly hormonal. They don't really have much perspective in life. And guess what? They are the one who the music is made to. And then in your 20s, you got, you still trying to be hip, cool, hanging on to that. By the time you 30, a line is going to be drawn if you mature. And some people in their 20s, because they grow up around older music, and they not really down with, the stuff that they hear. They know is BS. So ultimately, I think we owe a lot of people an apology, especially Milli Vanilli. Woo, we owe Milli Vanilli an apology. As much auto-tune and all this shit that's being used now, we definitely owe Milli Vanilli an apology. MC Hammer, it ain't been another one like him. Not one. It ain't been another one like him. Y'all owe that man an apology. It's been so many unique individuals that's came and blessed us with their talent. Y'all took it for granted. I can't wrap my mind around it, but music industry wise, we definitely need to reevaluate how we judged particular people and artists, and the way the metrics in which was used against them, and how we formed our opinions. I definitely think there's it definitely needs to be scaled to where we judge them and we look at them and our opinions of them. We definitely need to go a different direction with that, because we don't know, and a lot of us didn't have a clue of the insidiousness and the perversion and the pervertedness and how fucked up the industry was. And this is in a lot of industries. I'm just speaking to the music industry today, but I think this is something that we need to definitely face. Let's get on that.